So I'm going to try and hurry up and share these with you. These are shirts that the guests from the shelter have made, and I got to make one myself, but my ex didn't like it because I did go back after I left my ex. Hold on a second. And I shared it with him, and he was not happy with me that I made the shirt, so he destroyed it. But these are some beautiful shirts, and I gotta tell you guys, my heart's like in my throat because it just whew, makes me feel pretty sad to see these. Pretty sad to see the families here that are here because they've lost someone they love due to domestic violence. So we just finished up the walk, and now we're just looking at the shirts. There was some music. It's pretty big. We're in the park here in Crown Point. Yeah, amen. I love this one too.
Good evening.
Excuse me.
We're going to open our program tonight with a prayer. We have Reverend Merlin Lawrence.
Hurry up with these. I don't want to miss out on the prayer. I don't want to be rude.
We are surrounded tonight with candles lit as a sign of our willingness to be your light in the world. God of heaven and earth, we confess the terrible physical and sexual violence that so many across the globe are subjected to. We confess how even in our own times, Scripture has revealed to justify violence against women and the exclusion from a full role in society. We confess the structural violence of our institutions, including the church, which too often exclude women from decision-making power and authority. And so, gracious God, this evening we give you thanks that you call us out of silence to name the hidden and domestic violence. Today we pray to all those who, despite suffering from violence, continue to care for family and children, earning a living, and offering support to others. We pray for those who are trafficked as domestic or sexual workers, for women who are raped and do not know how to find words to name their pain or ways to be the future. We pray for those who are violence, also trying to encounter the victims of violence and to solve the problems of injustice. We pray that our voices may be heard and taken into account in all peace and reconciliation work. We remember before you our own community, the places.
Sorry, it's so loud.
In Jesus, we show our life of violence and
I know you can't hear. Sorry, somebody on a motorcycle. It's pretty loud. There's some shirts up at the front I didn't get.
Thank you, Reverend Lawrence.
But also the bags do symbolize those
I
we've
thought,
lost.
I wanted to share one thing about Reverend Lawrence that is very interesting and appropriate for why we're here tonight. Reverend Lawrence actually did some of the first research on domestic violence in South Africa. Thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you all for being here this evening, and welcome to the 24th Annual Candlelight Vigil. I would like to thank the Crown Point Police and EMA for providing us with safe passage.
I don't know how long I'm going to be on. I might come off in a little while, but I just wanted to share a little bit of this.
Violence Awareness Month. And once again, we gather to celebrate, to remember, and to provide hope. Our vigil tonight recognizes and honors the many survivors of domestic violence, including women, men, and children. St. Jude House is approaching its 25th year of serving survivors of domestic violence. We have served nearly 13,000 survivors since St. Jude House first opened its doors in 1995. We are grateful for the vision of the Franciscan Sisters of Chicago and Don Burrell, who saw a critical need in the community and responded by establishing St. Jude House, a place of safe haven, healing, and hope for those impacted by domestic violence. I am so grateful to work with a team at St. Jude House and a board of directors towards a mission every day that is filled with compassion, care, and dedication to all those we serve. At this time, I would like all of the staff and board of directors of St. Jude House to please briefly stand. Thank you so much for all you do every day. I would also like to acknowledge our clients and our children for creating these inspiring messages and artwork that you see on all these bags that will really be shining soon. Also, if you're wondering why there's so much purple here tonight, it is a symbol of peace, courage, survival, honor, and dedication to ending violence. You may also wonder why there's so many t-shirts hanging up all over the place. It's called the Clothesline Project. All the shirts have been created by clients that have stayed at St. Jude House. This project started in 1990 as a vehicle for survivors to express their emotions by decorating a shirt and hanging it on a clothesline to be viewed to others as a testimony to the problem of violence against women. Since then, it has spread worldwide. Domestic violence is an epidemic affecting individuals in every community, regardless of age, economic status, gender, race, religion, and nationality. Unfair blame is often placed upon the person being abused because of assumptions that victims choose to stay in abusive relationships. Too many people will say, "Why doesn't she just leave?" You never hear the question, "Why does he abuse?" Domestic violence is something we do not discuss enough. It's great to have an entire month dedicated to domestic violence awareness, but we really need this to be relevant all year round.
Yes, amen.
On average, nearly 20 people are abused by an intimate partner every minute in the United States. A primary message we could all be utilizing for survivors can boil down to 3 simple statements. You're not alone. It's not your fault. We are here to help. We at St. Jude House could not do the work we do without the support of a committed community. No man, woman, or child should have to endure abuse of any kind. We currently have 15 children and 12 adults living in St. Jude House on a path to a life free from domestic violence. We are honored to have great speakers, partners of St. Jude House, whose support has made our success possible. Without further ado, I would like to introduce our first speaker. Mayor Uran, Mayor of Crown Point, we're so thankful to have you here with us tonight and to have this event at this beautiful Bulldog Park. Thank you, Ryan.
I'm in Crown Point, Teresa. They had Candlelight Vigil. They do this annually.
It speaks volumes when you have a Candlelight Vigil, your 24th, and the power of the message.
Many shelters around the nation do have, at the beginning of October, do have a candlelight vigil or some sort of activity to share with the public that, or about domestic abuse and violence.
Ryan has an all-star list of speakers here tonight, and you're going to hear
Thanks, guys, for watching.
very, very compelling stories. You're going to be hearing lots of why we're here. And I echo Ryan's sentiments that it's just not the month of October, but it's all 12 months that we need to have a watchful eye out there. We need to, communicate with your family members, your friends, and have those relationships where if you see something, you tell somebody or you let those people know that you're
And
there
if you're
for
just
them
tuning in,
and
and the bags that they have up front were
as a
decorated by
former
the
police
kids
officer for 13 years,
that
working there
have been
for,
guests at the
nearly
shelter.
12,
All those bags
I had the
there.
unfortunate
And they
opportunity as a
also
police officer here
do
at Crown Point to respond to domestic violence.
commemorate
But
those
we
that
were
we've
fortunate
lost
to be able to
here in
have a facility
Indiana
like St.
this
Jude here
year.
in Crown Point
I'm not sure if it's
to be
just
able
in
to
Lake County
provide
or the whole state. I don't
resources and
recall off the
opportunities
top of
for
my
those
head,
people
but
involved
that's a
in
lot of
those,
bags, guys.
situations that were not
Now, I don't remember if it's
in
in
the
all the
best
24
interest
years
of
that
their
they've been around,
relationships, to
but
have a
I'm
place
pretty
to
sure
go,
it
have a
is.
place to have people
But,
help them get to the next
yeah,
level.
it's very sad.
Find those things because you
I don't know how
see
many we've
people that don't
lost
want to leave because
this
they feel
year
like
so
they're
far.
financially obligated to be there. It was their fault for some reason. But when you have advocates like Ryan and his team, and you'll hear the story tonight, you'll have the path to find a better life, and you're not and should not stay in a relationship that is abusive to you. So with that being said, as the mayor of the city of Crown Point, I'd like to read a proclamation. Whereas the crime and the fear of diminished equality of life for all, as violence against all genders continues to become more prevalent as a social problem due to the imbalance of power due to gender and age. Whereas the problems of domestic violence are not confined to any group or groups of people, but cross all economic, racial, professional preferences, social barriers. Whereas crime of domestic violence violates individuals' privacy,
I'm sharing
dignity,
this today because if you
security,
can't be here with
humanity,
us, that's okay. I'm going to
the
share as much as I
systematic
can
use of physical,
about
emotional,
this today,
sexual,
what we're doing in our
psychological,
community.
economic control, or abuse. Whereas the impact of domestic violence is wide-ranging, directly affecting anybody involved in domestic violence in society as a whole. Where it is battered victims themselves who have been at the forefront of efforts to bring peace and equality to the home. And recognizing this important work done by domestic violence programs, as the mayor of the city of Crown Point, we hereby proclaim the month of October 2019 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in the city of Crown Point, and we urge all citizens to actively participate in scheduled activities and programs sponsored by St. Jude to work toward the elimination of personal and institutional violence against all. Thank you.
It's the mayor of Crown Point. And we are here in Crown Point, Indiana today with St. Jude House. This is one of the shelters that I
Our
did.
next speaker
The
has
shelter I
been
did stay
a strong
at
supporter of
twice.
St. Jude House for many years. Our Indiana State Representative, Lisa Beck.
Thank you, Ryan, for inviting me to be here. It's an honor to be here. Thank you to everyone here who showed up tonight. And I want to read to you something that's authored by Indiana Coalition of Domestic Violence website. Domestic violence is one real communities to ensure safe, stable, nurturing relationships or environments for all people. We came together here tonight and we showed our support for St. Jude House. We must continue to speak up as teachers, coaches, neighbors, family members, to speak up when we know that something's not right. We must also believe survivors. We must make sure that law enforcement, that when they're called to a home time after time, that they continue to still listen to the victim
Yes.
and always start by believing,
Yes.
and that when your voice, their voice is so powerful. And I want to give you an example, some statistics of how, on a true case, how that actually came about. Many of you know about the case with
Again, I'm staying live as long as I can. I don't know if my battery will give out or my signal, but I am going to stay as live as long as I can. I am at the Crown Point, in Crown Point, Indiana, the St. Jude House, Candlelight Vigil.
The assault occurred behind a garbage can. There were two people that saw the assault. They couldn't even believe what they had seen with their own eyes. It was violent. It was horrible. He was only sentenced to 6 months and served 3 months. The public outcry after that case was so huge that 2 years later, in 2018, and with after getting 80,000 signatures, the community pushed for the recall of that judge. The judge was recalled. 76% of that precinct came out to vote on that recall. Over 59%, 61.5% of the people that
I'm going to move a little, guys.
voted for him being recalled. He lost his job. After that, in California, the law changed related to sexual assault. What I'm saying here to you tonight is by being here, that's the first step. We must listen to survivors. We must always start by believing their stories. And we must continue to go out and make sure that domestic violence and sexual assault ends, because it is preventable. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Our next speaker, we have two speakers, actually from the prosecutor's office. I got to attend a Indiana Criminal Justice Institute focus group, and Deputy Prosecutor Miriam Afshar was speaking about the work that her team has been doing, and I was so inspired that I approached her after that focus group and said, I really think you should speak at our Candlelight Vigil. So it's awesome that you're here tonight. Please welcome to the stage.
Thanks again for watching, guys. Staying with me. I appreciate it.
Ryan for having us here. Also with me is Deputy Prosecuting Attorney Nadia Wardrip. She is also part of the Special Victims Unit that Lake County has recently created last year. And Nadia's going to talk a little bit about why our unit was formed, and then I'll talk a little bit about what we do after forming this unit.
Good evening, everyone. We started the Lake County Prosecutor's Office Special Victims Unit in April 2018, specifically to combat how sexual violence and intimate partner violence is handled in our community. We want to make sure that every person in our community here in Lake County is safe, and we want to make sure that every offender is held accountable. We have completely restructured the way these crimes are handled in Lake County, from the beginning of an investigation when a report of sexual violence or domestic violence is made, through the investigation and through the prosecutorial stage. My message to every victim in this county is that the prosecutor's office cares about you, believes you, and we want you to be safe. And my message to each offender in this county is we are going to hold you accountable.
Woo! Awesome.
I want to start with an interesting fact. It says, on average, it takes a victim 7 times to leave before staying away for good. And if you really think about that, that's really astonishing. At least 7 times. Now, if you could only imagine how many cases we have in Lake County alone, a lot of the cases that we get, they're re-offending. You know, woman reports a crime, and for some reason, and there's multiple reasons, if you are aware of the psychological, emotional aspects of these types of cases, the victim will go back. And sure enough, the incident happens again, and we have these cases again. So we have a lot on our plate in terms of what we're working with, but what's really great about our unit is that we specifically address these issues. So we specifically handle sex crimes cases, intimate partner violence, and that's huge. That's huge for our county to be able to do something like that and kind of address the underlying issues. And in order for us to do that, one of the support that we use very frequently is St. Jude House. And we recognize that there's resources out there for victims to use. Resources that can include assistance with job employment, educational employment, even housing, educational background, as well as housing as well. So there's a lot of resources out there that we can assist with victims to try to get that information. I would also note that we do have 4 prosecutors that are dedicated to these types of cases. And so our hope with creating this unit is to not only deter future crimes, but it's also to help empower victims to speak out and speak up against domestic violence, and also to help maintain that we have a safe community.
Thanks again for watching. I am at the Candlelight Vigil
Thank
for
you
St.
so
Jude
much,
House in
Walter.
Crown Point,
That you're
Indiana.
doing. Part of the message tonight, as as we continue to go through the speakers, is really that this issue of domestic violence is something that really takes a community to come together. Our next speaker, I've had the pleasure of getting to know over the last few months. Also, the electronic candles that you'll be lighting later on in the presentation, Mr. Ellis Dumas lent us. So we are borrowing them. I hope you haven't got too attached to them because they're very expensive and we have to collect them at the end of the night. But Mr. Dumas is the Lake County, Indiana DCS Regional Manager. And a thing that a lot of people don't understand about DCS is they have some amazing caseworkers that work alongside with our case manager, Corey, at St. Jude House. And they really do fight for our clients that we serve. And I'm sure Mr. Dumas can tell you more.
Well, good evening, everybody. I am the loud one of the bunch, so excuse me if I'm loud. Am I too loud up there? Two, maybe. Perfect. I got some thumbs up. All right, so I just want to kind of change the atmosphere. We're here celebrating something good. And you say, well, how can domestic violence be something good, right? Well, if you're here, you recognize that it's a problem, and so you're going to do something about it.
Amen.
That's what's good. For a long, long time, we've said domestic violence is not a problem at all. So the very essence of being here is literally changing the entire community perspective on domestic violence. So thank you. Now, I want to talk a little bit about that other victim that people often forget about. The victim where in the early 60s that we remember they had rights. The victims that often are very cute and you want to cuddle them, but at the same time are often silent. Those are the children.
Yes.
The children are the ones that we have to focus on. Our primary job is to act how the children. In most domestic violence situations that we come into, the difficult part is that regardless whether mom or dad are the victim, whether mom or dad are the aggressor, that both parents are still loved unconditionally by the child. And yet the child still wants to spend time with them, love them and recognize them and be a part of their lives. But yet and still we have to create an environment that's safe for this child. People often ask, why is it that with Department of Child Services, a child is allowed to be in that environment? Understand, just like the prosecutor said, we have an element that we have to prove in court. Without our community support, we cannot prove that element. Without you saying something, without you reporting when you see these type of things, we won't know. People often negate the fact that I may be the neighbor and it's none of my business if I hear the loud bumping in the next room or the next apartment over. People often negate that, oh, I don't even say anything even though I know my sister or brother comes often to the family events and losing them. Or people don't say anything when they say, my nephew or niece comes to my house and says, I want to spend the night just to get a break away from their fight. I say all of that to understand that as a community, we have to continue to stand up. We have to continue to fight for what's in the best interest for the children. We have to show them that this is not normal, this is not what they want to deal with or should have to deal with when they grow up to be adults.
Right.
That's how we're going to stop the cycle. That's how we're going to have to stop coming here for situations just like this.
Amen.
And we can teach them what is right and what is wrong. I thank you so much for coming out, and I appreciate your time. Have a beautiful one.
Woo!
Thank you, Ellis. Very well said. Our next speaker is President and CEO of Lake Area United Way, Lisa Doherty. And, you know, United Way has been such an amazing partner over the years. Recently, we received, earlier in this year, one of the grants. It's called Hand Up. And this grant has allowed us our clients to pay for the first month's security rent, deposit, or first month's rent, which is sometimes the only barrier that is holding someone back from living in housing that is free from domestic violence. I know our team, our supporters, when we can show that we are securing housing that is safe, these are very positive, measurable outcomes. And again, this is another example of how we cannot do it without support and help. So at this time, I'd like to welcome Lisa.
Thank you, Ryan. On behalf of the Lake Area United Way Board and our staff, you need to know that we are here to help. You know, our role in the community is to mobilize volunteers and donors and invest those dollars in programs like that St. Jude offers. We know that there are a lot of people in our community that are vulnerable, working people that are vulnerable. And when you have clients that come to you, survivors, sometimes they're coming with simply the shirts on their back, and that is it. So we know that funding needs to be available to you to offer basic, food, clothing, shelter. And the Hand Up grant that you mentioned is a new revenue opportunity for organizations like yours, because we know that people need to transition. They need that hand up, not a handout, but a hand up, so that they can transition to self-sufficiency. And know that we are out in the community sharing your story, and we'll continue to support your organization and the great work that you do.
Thank you, Lisa. So our last speaker of the night, before we go into our survivor story and video presentation, is Mr. Nick Neal. So Nick was actually one of the first people that reached out when I returned to work at St. Jude House. And it was really nice to pick my favorite spot for lunch. Not too many people do that, but Nick has definitely kept myself and St. Jude House very busy. Our advocates are observing the Matters Intervention Program. We have attended several events. Feminist has lots of events, lots of good events, but really also that support that Nick has offered with the help of Kristen Chamberlain is we have parenting classes at St. Jude House. And along with Geminus Community Partners with Prevent Child Abuse Lake County and Joy Heminger's help, we've partnered up to allow this nurturing curriculum for our parents that we serve, residentially and non-residentially. Geminus also has a community partner table back there if you'd like some more information. Thank you for being here, Nick.
Good evening. I only heard Ellis. Good evening. Man, I'm the last speaker. We almost done. I know it's hot, sweating. Took off my jacket. I'm honored to be here tonight. I want to thank Ryan and everyone else who spoke tonight. Geminus Community Partners has been around with Geminus for the past 12 years. And during that time, we've had the opportunity to kind of invest in the community. Part of our grant dollars are going back into different programs like Jude and other programs throughout Lake County. And it's just an honor to see how these programs have come about with Ryan at the helm in such a short time, to see the outreach and the community. So we're just here to be a support. So thank you all. So we do have a table, some more information. Just glad to see you all out here tonight. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to walk up to me and ask me tonight or some of my staff. Raise your hand here from Geminus. So thank you again for having us tonight, and enjoy the rest of the evening, folks.
Thank you, Nick. I also wanted to mention one more thing about the grants. The grant we received this year from community partners has really been a game changer, as the whole grant was focused around our children's department. This has been the year of the child, so we have doubled our children's programming, and with the help of that grant, we're able to increase our staff. We serve more children than adults, so it is really important to echo what Ellis was saying. We can break that cycle, and we need to really focus on our youth. So at this time, I would invite our speakers to have a seat down here. Can we put our hands together for our speakers one more time? Thank you so much for being here.
So if you just popped in, I'm at the St. Jude House Candlelight Vigil in Crown Point, Indiana, and I know many of you can't be with me today, so I'm just sharing this here on this page. And if you could do me a favor and just spread the love after this video is done or during this
It is now my honor and privilege to introduce you to someone very special. This is Darcy. Darcy is an amazing person who has 6 amazing children. Since I returned to St. Jude House, I quickly observed when the kids came in, and I saw staff first get excited to see the kids, and I saw the kids excited to see the staff. And I think probably the first few times I probably didn't even say hi to Darcy, because the kids brought so much joy into our building. So I have, over the past year, gotten to know Darcy and her kids, and they are amazing. And Darcy is here to share with you some of her story, which takes a lot of courage. And I just have so much respect for you, Darcy, so thank you for being here.
Oh, Darcy.
Like Brian mentioned, more than 13,000 men, women, and children had walked through the doors of St. Jude since they opened in 2015. Never imagined that my children and I would be a part of that statistic. My name's Darcy Kunst, and my 6 children are down here. Most of them are on the floor with me here today. It wasn't an easy decision for me. And it definitely, at the time, wasn't even one that I really understood what I was doing. I knew I needed to do it. I heard about St. Jude through a friend at my church. I was terrified to even make the call, but when I did, it was like a whole new world of healing opened up to me. The Bible says in Jude 22, some have compassion, making a difference. I just want to briefly share with you how St. Jude has made a difference in my family because of their compassion. It was during my most vulnerable and terrifying time that God put St. Jude in my life and my children's life. Many drive past St. Jude every day and don't even realize what goes on behind those doors. And I've had many people think St. Jude's still the research hospital, which there is one. There's so much that they have done for me and for so many others, and there's so much that they offer our community. St. Jude has a 24-hour crisis hotline. It was this hotline that I first called, and hearing the compassionate voice on the other side that started my healing journey. St. Jude has a very strong advocacy program. The legal advocate helps you to understand how to fill out your paperwork. Most people don't know the justice system, don't know how things work, don't know how to fill out protective orders. It's scary going to court. And they go with you, or they have another advocate go with you. The legal advocate helped me to understand everything and gain a very high regard for my family's safety. She went the extra mile in not only helping me in the legal aspects, but took a genuine interest in showing love for my kids and for myself. For instance, I just want to share with these people who have St. Jude. One night we were gone and we came home late at night. It was pretty late, and we had missed the dance party. And my kids were disappointed about it, but the advocate stayed there after hours, and she came to our room and had the dance party with my children. You say that's little. No, it's not. That's compassion that made the difference in my life, in my children's life. victim advocate was always concerned about my well-being. It was a very stressful time for me, but she always made sure that I was okay. For instance, one time she knew I needed a break. 6 kids need a break. She made sure that my kids were cared for and told me, Darcy, just go take a break. She was always there to help me. She still is there when she calls me often to check on me, to keep me updated in the activities and things that St. Jude has going on in the classes. They have a child advocate. The child advocate always is helping my children. They have a wonderful program for the kids, not only to keep them busy, but to help them. I mean, this is hard on them, to help them through their emotions that they're going through. They teach lessons on how to handle your emotions, how to deal with your anger. My kids always had what they needed when they were there. St. Jude tried to make their home a place that the kids can feel comfortable and just be a kid. Even on their birthdays, they were given nice cakes and presents. One of the most memorable times was before school, and they had opened up the big conference room, and they had crayons and pencils and book bags and, everything laid out. And the kids could go in and put stuff in their book bags. But it was when we went back to my room, all my kids got on their beds, and if you could hear the squeals of joy in their voices, it was this compassion that made a difference for me and my children. We have many groups at St. Jude, and these were the highlight for us. Each day, my kids, there's a board, and they would say group.
I got the low
My kids
battery.
loved going
Oh,
through.
I
They would plan the
might run out of
playground.
battery soon.
In my own classes, I was able to start to see things fall. I was able to start to understand the cycle of abuse. Most ladies who come in, or even men that come into the program, don't even understand what the cycle of abuse is. I had never heard of that before. I was starting to understand that, starting to understand what is safety planning, what I need to do to protect me and my children, and how I can regain self-confidence in my own work. Sadly, in January of this last year, my children and I once again needed a safe haven. I didn't hesitate to call St. Jude. Walking back through those doors was not fearful though this time. I knew we would be safe and taken care of. Since we have left St. Jude, I've enrolled in their active care program. They have a program that you can continue to come and still do groups. They have a financial empowerment group, hope group, and there's many groups that my children and I can go to. They've always been thinking of us. They remembered us at Christmas. We've gotten Easter baskets, Valentine's Day gifts, Thanksgiving gifts, Valentine's Day gift cards. I could literally go on and on. My children and I love still actually sometimes I need the staff at St. Jude has made a difference in our lives. So I'm very grateful. But I would like to thank all of you that are here that support St. Jude. You don't always get to see the faces that are in those doors.
Thank you, Darcy. I think we should put it together one more time. That's so hard to come up with. Thank you so much.
She did so good.
So we are almost there. We're going to have our video presentation, and then after the video presentation, we will have a moment of silence, and we'll close with a song.
1 in 4 women will experience domestic violence. 1 in 7 men will experience domestic violence. Every minute, 20 people are abused by their intimate partner. Nearly 25% of children witness domestic violence in their home. 20,000 domestic violence crisis calls are received each day nationally. Hi, my name is Ryan Olenkowski. Here at St. Jude House, our vision is to empower every victim to become a survivor through our compassionate and comprehensive services. Domestic violence is everywhere, and the dream of St. Jude House is to break the silence. A dream as big as ours can only be realized through the help of others. For example, volunteers, board members, businesses, and supporters like you here tonight.
My name is Carol Highsmith. I'm retired from Centier Bank, which is a local community bank, and I'm now chairman of the board and have been chairman for about 5 years. I am so passionate because of the number of lives they've impacted. It's amazing the stories that you hear, the people that you encounter that have been a client of St. Jude House, have gone on to change their lives and have done great things and have encouraged other women who maybe are experiencing the same kinds
Guys, I
of
got like 10%
powerlessness
video. I
in
don't know
their
if my
lives,
battery, I
the
don't know if my
same
video's
kind
going
of
to turn
hurts
off.
in their lives, to come here to St. Jude House and turn their lives around.
3 words that best describe St. Jude House are safety, rejuvenation, and empowerment. Hi, my name is John Vidal, and I've been associated with St. Jude House for 13 years, and I am the vice chairman
I'm going
of
to
the
turn
board
it
of
off,
St. Jude
but I'll
House.
come back on
I
in a little
really
bit.
wanted to do something
Thanks for
for the
watching.
community.